What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I've got another Python tutorial for you today, and the concept in this video we're covering is how to sort a list using Python's built-in sort function. So before I get started, if you do find this or anything else on the channel useful, I really appreciate a like and a subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. And if you have any questions or want to see something in a future video, just be sure to let me know about it in the comments. And without any further ado, let's get into it. So you can see I've created a few lists, and lists can be anything in Python. They can be strings, they can be numbers, they can be dictionaries. So I created a few different lists with strings, and then a few different data types as well. So I have years, which these are integers. Obviously, you could do it with floats, and then I have a list of dictionaries. And so we're going to go through and sort all of those. So it's really easy to use the sort function. You just type in the name of your list and then .sort, and if you don't put anything in those variable in the conditionals after sort, it's going to do its default sorting, which let's cover that by looking at what it does for fruits here. So fruits is a bunch of strings. The default for strings is going to be sort in order of alphabetical, so starting with A, and then you can see with these particular fruits you go A, B, C, G, K, where the original list did not have them in that order, so you can see it's alphabetical. And then the default for like numerical, so let's do the same thing with years. It's even if it's numerical, even if it's dictionaries, whatever is in your list, it's just list name dot sort and then your parentheses. But then if you do it with something that's numerical, it is going to do it smallest number going up to the greatest number, so that's called ascending. But what you can do is this years.sort, and then you can put conditions in here like reverse equals true, and so by default reverse is false, which makes it the default condition. But if you do it this way, and you probably guessed this, it's going to do just the opposite of whatever you did. So if it started before, you can see when we do it the first time, it goes least to greatest in ascending order, but then we reverse it and it goes in descending order. So now if we look at our car list, so let's do car.sort, and let's reverse there to see what it does with strings, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So you can see it does reverse alphabetical order. So just keep in mind if it's integers, if it's floats, if it's decimal values, and if it's strings, it's going to be ascending from the beginning of the alphabet or the smallest number up to the largest by default, but you can set the reverse condition to get it to flip. And then the next thing I want to talk about is you can also sort a list using a function. So let's take our classmates here. You can see we have just a list of a lot of different students, and let's say we actually want to sort the list, but we want to sort it based on the length of the student's name. And so rather than alphabetical, which is the default that we would get, we can create a function to sort this. So what we'll do there is we'll define a function and we'll call it the sort function. Okay. And it's going to take one item at a time, because what we're going to do is we're going to pass our list in here one item at a time for the sorting function, and it's going to return a value. So what we're going to return out of our sort function is the length of the item as it gets passed in. So we're just going to use this function to return a value saying how long each piece of the list that got passed through is. So the way you actually call that function now is you do classmates dot sort just like before, and then you do key equals, and then here's where you call that function. And actually you don't need these additional parentheses. So what you do is you just say key equals sort function, and it knows this is kind of unique to the sorting function. You are always going to be passing in one item at a time, so that's the point of key equals sort function, and you don't need to like add another set of parentheses here and type in item. That doesn't work for lists. So this is how you use this, and let's go ahead and print classmates now after that. And what we should see is, rather than being alphabetical like strings normally are, it's based on the length of the student's name. So you can see we go 3, 4, 5, 5 again, 6, 7, and 8 characters. So that's really cool. And another nice thing, you can combine these two things that we've covered. So if you want to do it by length, but you also want to say, and I want to see who has the longest name first, you can do reverse equals true and a key on the same function. So that's really useful, in my opinion. A lot of the times you'll want to combo these and do descending order based on a function, and sometimes it's just easier to write a function that's just one line and it just returns the length, rather than like finding a way to do all that math inside your function. So this is really useful. And then the last thing I wanted to do, and the reason I made a list that was all dictionaries, so you can see we've got key value pairs of a meal name, and then a dish, and then a second item of like the time that you would eat, and then the time in like military time. So that's dictionaries, and you can still sort it. So let's create another function that we'll call sort dictionaries, and let's say that you want to return an item inside. You want to return not like the length of it now. You want to return an item at a specific value. So you want to look up the time that your I typed item. You want to look up the time that that meal is served, and you want to order it based on then. So what we're saying here is you pass in each dictionary one at a time, check for the key value of time, and then return that value. So you can see here these are in military time, right? And they're not ordered. It goes dinner, then breakfast, then lunch, but we want it to go breakfast, lunch, dinner. So we're saying sort this list based on what time the meal is served. And then let's go ahead and dictionaries.sort. And what we're going to do now is we are just going to call that function just like before. The key that we made is called sort dictionaries, and you don't have to pass an item in. And let's go ahead and print it so you can see what's going on here. Print dictionaries, okay? So right there you can see we just reordered our list to go breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, so this, you know, it's a quick video. It just really covers one concept, but I know there's been a lot of questions on this on my channel. I've seen it on other videos. Sorting a list is a really useful way to process large sets of data. And if you know just really the key, the way to use a function to do some more advanced sorting for you, and then reverse if you have it in the opposite order of what you want, those are the two most common tools you'll use outside of just the default sort, which is already really useful. So hopefully you found this useful. If you have any questions on this, or you want to see me cover something in a future video, be sure to just let me know about in the comments below. Leave a like on the channel, and if you would want to subscribe to the channel, I appreciate that a ton. It helps me out. This is a new channel I'm trying to get going, so thank you all for your support and your views, and as always, good luck with your code, and thanks for watching. Thanks. Bye.